Hey y'all, what's going on? Jamie, that's me here. Listen, the time has come for us to wrap this season right on up, and I'm really glad for it to be wrapping up. This is the season finale that we're going to be chatting about on today. All right. Of course, you guys know that Porsha's cousin Lundy did pass away. Condolences to Porsha's family. She does go over to Phaedra's house with her sister Lauren for them to kind of sort out the funeral details, the burial details, and all of that. Right. Lauren talks about how she was numb to it all. Like she grew up with Lundy, and she was really surprised a bit, that this is happening. It does seem surreal for her. She did say she was on the phone, and that may be why she's still numb. She says that she was on the phone when Lundy passed away. Porsha says that she ended up getting a call as well, learning that Lundy was in distress. And within an hour to 2 hours, they ended up losing her as a whole. Details regarding her passing has not been released, okay, and I don't see them releasing that information, but she passed away, and unfortunately that's something that's going to always be with Lauren, knowing that she was on that call as Lundy was passing away. That's really sad. Porsha says that she thought that this was going to be her year. She thought she was going to have a big year. She was going to do it big. She was returning back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. She had a lot of things, I guess, set for the new year, but unfortunately, she ended up having a lot of loss. And she lost, as far as the marriage, no longer in that. She had a loss as far as her family member, and also this friendship with Shamea. Although they were slightly in communication, it seems like things were getting worse as the season progressed. Even though Porsha says she's still open to her, I don't know. Okay, so she had a pretty tough year, and that's where she is with things, right? Angela goes to see a therapist because she needs to talk to the therapist about her husband because she's at a place where she needs to understand her husband more. Y'all, I am a little damn confused, and I'm like, you don't understand him at this point? You don't understand him at this point. I would have assumed it would be a different issue or something. I don't know, but she says she needs advice on how to deal with her husband. And I'm like, girl, you don't know how to deal with Charles yet. You've been married to his ass for 10 years, or at least been with him for 10 years. You don't know how to deal with his ass yet. Anyway, she does. For me, I feel like the issue really ain't so much as how to deal with Charles and all of that. It's more so these damn finances, okay? And maybe that is where Charles come into play, right? Because it's the finances. She's in over her head with these homes that she has, right? And she hasn't sold them. She's had to lower the price. She's about to take a loss on them. So she's already losing, and she's ready to just give them up, for foreclosure at this point. She keeps having to go back to Charles, asking him for more money to pour into these businesses. And Charles is at a place where he like, nah, because had you listened to me to begin with, you wouldn't even find yourself in this situation. You never really like to listen to me. So that's where we are with that. Okay. So she's dealing with that. And that's where she's really trying to figure out how to deal with Charles and how to navigate with Charles, knowing that she, one, didn't listen to him when he was like, nah, I don't think this is a good idea. And two, about got their money tied the hell up and it's tight right now. So yeah, she might be getting a grumpier Charles than normal. So maybe that's the part that she's having to figure out, right, with the therapist, right? So she also talks to the therapist about the guy approaching her at the event that she didn't know. Okay, the guy approached her saying he had some information on her husband and then followed it up, which was so messy and so extremely disrespectful, in my opinion. You wanted to pull this woman for a chat. She wasn't available to go and have a chat with you, but then you want to turn around and do a toast talking about cheers if your name is Angela and your husband is cheating on you. What kind of SHI is that? That was so disrespectful to me. If Charles would have folded him up and oaked the shit out of him in that moment, I feel like he would have definitely been well within his right, because you are definitely out of line. Okay, you're stepping into waters that you are very much so unfamiliar with. I just don't think that was cool at all. And this man, like I said last week, I feel like he was mic'd. I feel like this was a scheme that production set up to come to us with the bullshit, and they may have definitely solicited a housewife to do this and contribute to this type of madness, right? And of course, Angela is believing that it's Phaedra. I don't put anything past none of them ladies, okay? I don't put anything past Phaedra. I don't put nothing past none of them, right? So, because although I understand she may feel like it's Phaedra because that is what the guy told her, and that guy could be telling the truth. Some of them are thinking that it's Britt, and at first I was like, nah, it's not Britt. I don't think Britt did that, but at the same time, I don't know what none of these folks will really do, for real, for real. Okay, so it could be more than one person. It could be not just Phaedra in on it. Okay, it could be Phaedra and somebody else. So it's just a mess. Okay, but anywho, she says when she talked to Charles about it, he denied it. He felt like, he was pretty much being set up in so many words, okay? And that's so messed up because Charles already don't come around you and your friends for real. And the moment that he does come around you and your friends and he does this cook off or whatever, trying to be cool, here goes some SHI. So I think Angela definitely has a right to be upset. You talking this SHI about my husband. You're being very disrespectful with how you're handling the situation. And you putting my husband in a position to not want to even come around y'all motherfuckers like that. Like, oh no. So I understand, right? She also says that when it comes to trusting Charles, she may not have always trusted him, but where they are today, she does trust him. They are in a good place for the most part, aside from her messing up the money just a little bit, but they're good, right? So she says that she will be addressing this issue because it wouldn't be like Angela to just let something like this ride. Angela will be addressing the issue. She will be making it known to not fuck with me and don't mess with my family and stop using my marriage as a target. And I don't blame her for nipping this in the bud the first season. Let these people know. Don't play when it comes to my marriage or whatever the case is, because I'm not going to sit up here and play with yours. All right, so I want to go and wrap this up in the first season so you just know how to move with me when we get to the next season. Okay? Let's be very clear about that. So that's what Miss Angela got going on. Can I also say this? I appreciate the fact that we have a therapist that we haven't usually seen on television. Because one thing about reality TV, they're going to recycle the same damn therapist, and I'm glad to see a fresh face. Shamea has a showcase. And all of the ladies show up except for Porsha, right? Her family member passed away. And I think it's not just the family member passing away. I think Porsha got a lot going on. And although she acts like she's cool with everything, yes, any friend that sat up there and confided in somebody in a text message about their life and to learn that that person knows specific wording from a text message and know that you shared that shit, yeah, they gonna feel away. They gonna feel away. So I think it's more than just Lundy passing away, that has portioned her feels and made her decide to not show up at Shamea's showcase, right? So anywho, Shamea hits the stage, but her vocals don't. At least initially, they don't hit the stage. She had a struggle chord up there. Drew had to go ahead and tap on her shoulder a little bit in the confessional by saying, "I never had." Okay, I never had issues struggling to hit a note. I said, "Come on, Drew," because Shamea been taking shots at you all throughout the season, and she really got on your head top from the first episode. So if you want to tag her, please tag her. Tag her. You have a free range to get into it. Okay. So anywho, um, Shamea, I felt like her showcase was nice in my opinion. I did not expect Shamea's showcase to be on some Beyonce level. I didn't expect it to even be on some of the levels of any of the singers. I didn't expect it to be on the Victoria Monet's level at all. Shamea is just now getting her foot wet again doing this. There are going to be technical hiccups. Okay, this ain't no big mass super production. So I think her showcase gave just what it was to give you guys an idea of what her singing career is going to look like, what her capabilities are going to look like, the type of songs she's singing, the audience she's catering to, all of that. And I feel like she did her job in my personal, right? I really like that first song that she came out with. Shamea's definitely going to have some bops. I love me some RL. His music, like, I love some RL, okay, period. And you know what? Me and Ariel took a pic together, and I cannot find that photo. Did the person ever take the damn picture? I feel like they scammed me on that picture. But anyway, it was a long time ago. But all in all, I feel like having him as a producer or just even connected to your project for Shamea is a really good thing. And I feel like some of the songs that I've heard, they sound really good. So I have to give Shamea her props. Okay. Think she's doing a good job. I did not expect, like, she was a little late on her dancing. You could tell that she needs practice, but this also isn't typically her arena, right? Shamea could just stand on stage and sing it down, but when you're trying to be a performer, it's going to require a bit more than you just pacing back and forth on the stage and stuff. People want to see a little something extra, right? Even rappers have been having to do that, okay? Especially female rappers. So do your thing. I thought she did a good job. And there's always room for improvement, and I think she was open to receiving whatever the critique was. That's the whole point of the showcase as well. It's not for you guys to just praise her all day long, but if you see some hiccups, she's also doing this in an effort for her to be able to improve. So kudos to her for that. Right. So Drew says Shamea's mic was on, but it wasn't on, and it probably should have been off at times. Girl, the way Drew was getting Shamea, I loved it. I don't know if I really want to see a sing off between the ladies at the reunion, but I feel like they're gonna be trying to give us that, similar to when Candy had to do that one against Shamari, talking about the blow to my chest. I will never forget. Don't get these ladies no singing challenge, okay? Please don't let it be what it is. We know both of the ladies can sing in different ways, and that is okay. All right. So Angela talks with the ladies about the Charles Oakley Foundation and how they're on a mission to feed 100,000 kids. Shout out to y'all. Love that. Okay, love that, love that, love that. Feed the children. Okay. The lady said, let us know if we can help in any way, even if you want us to just make a post. And Drew said, well, how many followers do you have? And Kelly said, I got 150,000. Drew said 150,000. Okay, that's not normal for a new housewife, but okay. And then Britt said, "Oh, you mean those fake followers?" And then Kelly said, "Well, girl, I didn't even know that somebody was stalking me like that." Like, girl, okay, stalking much? She says, "Well, girl, you grew 80,000 subscribers in one day." Kelly said, "Why? Are you asking? Okay, why are you saying that? Because you wanted to compete?" I said, "Girl, y'all both right. Y'all both right." Y'all both right. I do believe the followers is a piece of fake, 1000%. I believe Brie has fake followers too. In addition to that, I believe that they grew 80,000 in one day. Yes, that's a dead giveaway, right? And she probably did want to compete, because why are you even watching her numbers so closely to know how much her subbies or her followers has grown in one day? Are you okay? Like, why do it makes me question that you always think of competition. You always put yourself in competition. I'll never forget when Phaedra told you that you put yourself in these situations. When y'all were back at Grenada, that whole conversation, it's like you always want to be on the outs. Like you literally live your life to be in opposition and competition of others. And I don't like that for you, because regardless, I'm gonna say this, regardless of the fact of how we liked how Britt handled herself earlier in the season, because I could not stand it. I did not like her coming at Kenya like that, making it seem like it was a bigger deal. You could threaten Kenya, but Kenya can't get you, got your back, right? I didn't like that, but as the season progressed, I could see her figuring out her way. I just don't think she played the right move. Like, I wish she would have just waited. And granted, she still is kind of waiting as far as the lawsuit, but it's the fact that you even submitted a summons, in my personal, right? I feel like if that was me and you submitted a summons and this is my network, like, girl, you're a risk at this point. Because if I bring you back another season, you're gonna be trying to find some else to nitpick about when shit ain't going your way. That's difficult. I don't know if I want to deal with that. I could just get somebody else to do the job. Like, and then the fans ain't even liking you like that anyway, right? But they probably would have brought you back. I don't know. And we don't know the conversations that may be happening behind the scenes, but you may not have been so likable in your first season, but it doesn't mean that as you continue to be on the show that wouldn't change. And you're not the only person to have gone through something like that on a show where people couldn't stand them the first season, and then by the second or third, it's like, you know what, I see what you're saying. You know what? I like you. I agree with that, and you just really didn't even give yourself a fair shake, right? And she wasn't really prepared fully for what to expect from social media. All right. But I mean, we'll see. Y'all leave y'all thoughts below on that. Britt and Kelly's back and forth was definitely a key for me. And I said, you know what? I actually would not mind seeing a little more of these. Just a little piece. Just a little piece, the way that y'all throw shade and all of that at each other. It's a bit comical to me. Porsha and Shamea ain't finna give us that, because they was real besties, okay? They not gonna do that. They may tit for tat in other ways, but it's not gonna be like that. And I was enjoying it. I was enjoying it, okay? But anywho, Shamea did pull Britt to the side after the showcase to have a talk with her, and she wanted to talk to her about what she learned from Cynthia about what Britt told to Porsha, okay? So Britt says that, well, you did have some things to say about Porsha. And Shamea said, like, what? Like, what did I have to say? And Britt says, well, you didn't feel like she was a good friend, amongst other things. Shamea then calls her a liar. And it's like, I don't think Britt was lying about the fact that you did say that. My question is whether you said that directly to Britt or Britt just repeating things that she's already heard from the group. Okay. So then she says that I don't even know why you would sit up here and lie. And this is what Shamea is saying to Britt. And then Shamea denies the text message because she was like, oh, so it didn't happen. So you didn't send me I didn't see your messages, Shamea. Shamea says, no, you didn't. I didn't show you none of that. Listen, I don't know if she probably don't remember, but I have to say I do believe that she saw it. I do, guys. I feel like Britt saw something. The wording was just too specific for me. Okay. Britt says you can deny, but you can't deny the fact that I did see those messages when you said that you don't like Porsha and why she feels like Porsha is a hater. I said, now that's the portion that I don't believe. I believe you saw messages. And the messages that you saw pertain to Porsha's therapist, attorney, whichever one you said that it was two in particular, and Porsha knew what you were talking about. But for you to add spice on it and to say that she was calling her a hater, right, to you, in front of you, like to you, to call her a hater and says that she don't like her friend, that right there, I don't believe. I don't believe Shamea said that part. So Shamea says this is coming from a jealous place. Like, girl, you jealous. You're jealous. You're jealous. So she's like, girl, jealous of what? Porsha? And she was like, no, the friendship that I have with Kelly because you feel like I'm taking your friend from you. Right? Then Shamea brings up shots. Right? She says it's clear that you can't take shots or whatever unless you drinking. Basically, you can't take the shots that I've thrown at you or basically the shade, but you could take shots when it results in you taking off all your clothes. Right? So she starts talking about that. I felt like that was a deflection. I'm like, why are we even talking about that? That's not even about the subject matter at hand. Like, why are you even bringing up her getting undressed? I feel like that was definitely giving deflection. And Britt says no. So then Shamea says that, and Britt says, so what? Like, yeah, I did get butt naked, and what else is going on? And then she says that, did you see your daughter when you went to Miami and you went and had them shots with Kelly? This is where I cannot support. Again, just like Shamea bringing up you being butt naked and it not having anything to do with the conversation, I don't think it was necessary, in my opinion, to bring up her daughter. Like, that has absolutely no relevancy to the conversation at hand. We're here because you told Porsha about messages that you saw. Shamea, we're here because Britt is saying that you showed her messages. What does that have to do with somebody being butt naked and somebody else's child? Please don't speak on the child, especially you ain't even got no child for her to address. Okay. So I just don't think, or to even speak on, I don't think that was cool in my personal. So when Britt started talking about it, I have to say, when Britt had said something like, did you check on your daughter when you were down in Miami? Why I started thinking about Mia Thornton. When Mia kids, she didn't know where they was at. Right? And then she over there not knowing where your kids at, and you over there distraught and everything, but you over here trying to figure out how you finna get the ink. Okay? Now, granted, I do feel like the two situations are completely different. I'm just telling you guys what popped in my head when she said that. Because for Shamea, I mean, y'all had to get back to Miami. I thought that was either one of the stops that they had to make, touch back down in Miami. But whatever it was, she was gonna go back home to her daughter. Like, I'm confusion. How hard is it to believe that something was going on with her daughter? Because Britt turned around and said something about not believing her. She tried to insinuate that, oh, you were down there popping, taking shots or whatever with Kelly, and it made me feel like you was lying about everything that your daughter was going through. And it's like, first of all, bitch, who are you for me to even lie to about my child? Like, and I also feel like even if it wasn't a matter of something wrong with her child in that moment, as far as the husband calling with the emergency, whatever, her daughter has a lot of issues going on with her. There will always be something wrong with that baby. Okay, so for you to insinuate that she was lying about something dealing with her child, I feel like that's messed up. No, she didn't necessarily talk about the child, as Shamea was saying, but also at the same time, she should have never brought the lady child up. Period. Don't bring that lady child up. If you're feeling a way about it, Talk about her husband. Because you also have a husband that she could talk about. Okay? You didn't have to bring up her child. I don't care how nobody feels about that. I don't care how Britt feels about that. You should not have spoke on that 1 month child. Okay? That's just what that is. All right. And the fact that you feel like she's lying about her child's condition or her child's situation. What? And this ain't the first time Shamea has talked about whatever her child has gone through. So why would you now feel like she's lying all because she's down there having some shots with Kelly? Yeah, no, I can't rock with it. So, anywho, Britt then says the streets are talking though, Shamea, and they're saying that you pretty much are cheating. You know, you're cheating, you're a hoe, whatever the case is, or whatever. And Shamea is pretty much, walking off like, girl, bye. Right now, I'm here for Britt defending herself, in the midst of that conversation. But what I'm not here for is mentioning her daughter, right? Anywho, Britt and Mike get ready to go get on a jet. I don't care nothing about a jet. If you can jet sit your ass over there to Shamea's house with more items than what you had to give to Grenada. Okay? Yeah, you could even jet set yourself over there to make sure everybody at the event had food. Like, there were so many things that's been wrong. Okay? You over there looking up jets and your website not even fully established. I can't. You came out better not even creating a page for it, to be honest. If you ain't gonna go all in, just it's okay. Don't be trying to promote it like that. Knowing you ain't got no product. But whatever it is, girl, that's what they got going on. Anywho, Drew and Ralph, he had to ask her for permission to come upstairs. So she let him come upstairs, and of course they talk. He's trying to figure out how we got here. At first I thought he was talking about the divorce. Cause I'm like, boy, don't you even but he's talking about as far as the co-parenting situation, right? Because he feels like, based on the agreement that the judge gave, he doesn't really have the range to really be active with the kids Monday through Friday. And she's like, yeah, I understand that, and that may be what the judge said, but at the end of the day, all you have to do is communicate with me. I'm not going to withhold you from your children. We are still family. We just want two different things out of life, and we both deserve it, and we don't have to exist how we were, but we still could be good. Okay. So they have that conversation, and they say they're gonna be good, and we already see that it's not all good, because any moment that he can sit up here and make Drew feel half as bad as he does, that's what he gonna do. So Angela has an event, and Porsha comes, all the ladies arrive. Porsha gets there, and she says that she will remain pretty much unbothered by anything that about the news about Britt, and that Shamea told Britt, the text messages and all of that. At the end of the day, Portia's just trying to move forward regardless. So Angela says that she and Drew met up with Marcus, and Angela says Marcus was full of it, okay? And that she knows he didn't act on this alone, and she wants to know who put him up to this, right? Yeah, he didn't act on that alone, because it sounded like he was mic'd up, or either y'all had that boom mic out. Okay. And for y'all to have, and here's the other part. Let's say he wasn't mic'd up, and it was the boom mic that they had, right? Catching the audio. It's the fact that y'all put him in frame every time. I don't know how many cameras y'all had, but y'all knew he was going to Angela to have a conversation, and then y'all knew he was finna give a cheers. Like, this man was giving close-ups. So production definitely had a hand in that, just a little piece, okay? Angela meets with the ladies and calls out Kelly, right? And says that, it was sketchy, right? She said that it was sketchy for everything that happened at your event. And Kelly like, girl, when he did that, did you not see me escort him out and put his ass out the event? Like, don't try and connect me to that type of stuff. Like, I really support that type of behavior. So, miss me with that. Then she goes to Britt and tell Britt, Angela, I'm like, Angela, are you still trying to figure out who did it, or do you know who did it? Okay. But Angela tells Britt, like, I thought that it was you, because, you and I have had our issues and stuff. So I thought you probably was going to be one trying to come for my marriage. And Britt was like, girl, no. Like, why would I do that? Like, I'm a married woman as well. And even though me and you have had our issues, like, we're good now. We've worked through our stuff. Like, why would I even do that? Like, it's not making sense, right? Whole time Britt is talking, Kelly is laughing, because she's like, oh, you a married woman? It was given, what about that man you fucking though? What about that man? What about that side man? That's how Kelly was over there acting. So Drew says that she's learned that the information that was given wasn't even true. right? As far as the person saying that, oh, your husband's cheating on you, all of that, it wasn't true. Angela said, is he here? Drew goes and find him. Everybody looking confused. Drew grabs him. They come back. They trying to get ready for the tea, right? Angela done planned this man's grand attendance, but did not have the conversation with Charles. So Charles is surprised, caught off guard once he sees this guy. He's yelling at him, telling him, "You're not welcome. You have to get the fuck out of here. I don't like you. I don't trust you. You disrespected my wife. I'm not here for it." Angela is telling Charles, "Wait, let him talk. Wait, hold on." She's like, "Hurry up, say what you gotta say." And Charles like, "Don't put your hands on him. Don't put your hands on him, okay? Because if he go the wrong way, I'm gonna have to go the right one. So just hold what you got, okay?" So anywho, she eventually gets Charles to back off and to allow Marcus to stay so that he can say whatever it is that he needs to say to the ladies, okay? Charles is like, "You know what? I'm over it. I'm sick of this shit. Matter of fact, go ahead and unmic me because I ain't got time for this bullshit. Yeah, I'm finna go." So the guy sits there and he says somebody in this group is very unhappy with Angela. And everybody's like, "Well, who the hell is you talking about?" And he says, "Well, Phaedra." And I'm like, it was something about how he said it that made me be like, say it with your chest a little more. Okay? Say it with your chest a little more. But aside from that, Phaedra's acting confused, looking confused, like, "What the hell are you talking about?" or whatever. I didn't like how he was spoon feeding information, or just like, it was like a clown that had like ribbon in his mouth and you keep trying to pull the ribbon out. And it's like, baby, when does it end? Like, can you just give it all up? Can you just throw it up? Can you just throw it up? Stop giving us breadcrumbs and just like, can you just put it all out there, please? Okay. So he's like, "Oh, well, somebody's not happy in the group. Phaedra. Oh, Phaedra's the godfather of Atlanta." Okay, what does that mean? Well, I got information from Phipps Plaza the other day. Oh, well, that person and us, me and Phaedra have a mutual person in common. I don't know if he said mutual friend or not, but they got a person that they're both familiar with. Okay. And then he finally says, "Well, what is his name? Junebug." Like, I cannot. I can't. It was stupid. Everything was dumb as hell. Everything was stupid. Everything was stupid. It was dumb. It was too much. Okay, just spill it. Just spill it. We know you want your camera time. You're getting an additional 5 minutes of fame. Please go ahead and just spill it all right, and give us a little more. All right. Anywho, so he gives up the information. Phaedra asks Angela, like, "Girl, why would I have an issue with you? Like, girl, I just met you." And I'm like, "I don't know, Faye, because you was over there in the confessional talking a lot of shit about that lady. And it was so unwarranted." Okay. I didn't understand what the issue was. And then you say that you didn't even know that Charles was married. A lot of the stuff that Phaedra did say about Angela's husband, about Charles, was stuff from 10 years ago. And that was pre Angela. So I'm sure he acted like he didn't have nobody because he wasn't with nobody. Like, or he used to be a party, always hanging out, this and that. Yeah, that was back then. We talking about now. A decade later, girl. What's going on? So then Angela says that Phaedra wants a ring. In my personal, I don't think that Phaedra wants a ring. I'm sure marriage is beautiful. I would want to believe that a woman that has as many businesses as she has and planning to leave legacies and different things to her kids, assets and all, why the fuck would I want to get married for to take that? Like, girl, no. Okay, you could be a life partner. Hey, Tina Turner, rest in peace. But like, it's really giving life partner. Like, after I've accumulated this wealth on my own, you're not gonna get a coin of that unless it's really gonna be an ironclad prenup. But I don't think that's something that she wants. I'm like, what's the other motive? Because I don't think it's that, right? So Angela says you want a marriage because you're trying to come in between mine. So Phaedra tells her that she's deflected. Angela said, "Girl, I'm not deflecting, BIT. I'm talking about your character." Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Phaedra said, "But you don't even know me though." And Angela says, "But I know the moves you play. I know that." Angela says, "I trusted you and I liked you." She says Phaedra gave her but you gave me everything. And see, this is where I kind of had a turning point. And I know the people gonna be mad, and I don't give a fuck. I am still wondering, did Phaedra do this? Like, yes, I understand. Okay, Phaedra said what she said about Candy. Phaedra did this. Yes, Phaedra is highly capable of doing this. All of the ladies sitting around looking in this woman's face are capable, okay? Every single last one of them. But now I'm just wondering because she had me looking at her like, huh? So Angela says Phaedra gave her everything. And Angela says, well, she called me and she gave me his full name and said that my mind is like an elephant and I remember this and that. And I said, but I thought you already had a person to I thought you already had a PI doing the investigation. I thought you already had everything that you need. So why would she need to call and give you a name? And if she's so involved, why would she call, give you a name, telling you that it was him, only for him to turn around and expose her? That don't make sense to me, right? Now, if she did do that, that's dumb as hell. You definitely played yourself if you did do that. So then it made me wonder, shit, was Phaedra your PI? Was you using Phaedra to be the private investigator, which is why she called your ass and said, hey, girl, okay, here's all the information. I got all the information that you need. Woo, 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 woo. And while she over there doing PI work, she decided to do a little PI work on your ass too and realized that you had a foreclosure. Like, what is really going on? Okay. Anywho, so Phaedra tells her that you're doing all that researching, but you failing to tell us that you're in foreclosure. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with this conversation? What does that have to do with conversation? Actually, yeah, just what does I don't think it was a whole lot of researching that needed to be done if he didn't came to the front and told her what the hell happened, even though she did say out her own mouth that she had a PI and they have some special friends that's been working on it. Okay, because they love her and Charles so much that they're gonna get down to the bottom of it. Okay. But I just felt like it kind of made me think a little bit about the Britt situation, right? Her and Shamea bringing up her being naked, bringing up somebody's daughter has nothing to do with the conversation at hand. Bringing up a foreclosure has nothing to do with that. And the fact that you would deflect does make me feel more that you did do it. Because why, when the heat is on you, you're talking about a damn foreclosure? Who cares? You're trying to shift the conversation from being about something that you may have done to be about her foreclosure. We don't give a damn about that. We on you right now. Okay? We on you, love. So yeah, what you got to say about that? Anywho, so Angela asked her, and then this is where Angela follows it up with something that I felt didn't have nothing to do with nothing either. So Angela first tell her that ain't no tea, baby. That's not no tea. Okay. Angela asked her, she said something about her kids. Do you let your kids visit their dad? And that wasn't much of a read either, because that wasn't no tea, because she does let her kids see the dad. We about to see the man pick the kids up more than once. Okay, between what I guess, married to medicine, like that was nothing. Anywho, so Porsha says that she thinks Angela did this to herself. I don't know what Angela did, but I will say it was just that small section of the conversation where she said Phaedra gave her all this information, gave her the first thing. She gave me everything. You gave me everything. So I'm like, if she gave you everything, then why would she incriminate herself if that was the case? And then in addition, then you already have a PI. So her giving you, it was that, like, some about that just didn't seem right to me. But anywho, y'all, I know y'all gonna let me know who and what y'all think anyway, because it's just how y'all is. Am I gonna care? Probably not. So Shamea talks about Britt, right? And they're over there going back and forth, and she says that her kid was brought up the other day about her faking her being sick. Because when Angela brought up Phaedra's kid, Shamea was pretty much like, let's not. Okay, don't do that now. Don't bring up the kids. Let's not mention the kids now. We don't do that, because my child was brought up. All right. And this girl trying to sit up here and say that I'm faking my child being sick. What kind of stuff is that? And Britt tried to literally sit up there and deny that she said that. Saying, no, that she didn't say that. I was just bringing up the fact that you were down in Miami drinking. No, you brought that lady daughter up. Yes, you did, ma'am. You did. You brought her daughter up. So Shamea said that you said she walked off because she didn't want to beat her, and so whatever. Britt said, is that a threat? She says, no, you do that. You do threats, okay? Same way you sat up there and threatened Kenya with a gun. Yeah, that's that you do. Okay. I said, yeah, Britt, go on, get up, love. Because Britt got up, she got rid of. I said, please get up. I said, because give Shamea a little more time, she is gonna beat your ass for real. Okay. So just please get up immediately. So Britt gets up and she walks off. Okay. Then she want to go over there to the cameraman asking them to unmic her because these ladies are low lives. Not them being low lives, but you trying so hard to fit in with that low life. Get that together. Okay. Get that together. So Angela's still asking Phaedra, like, what else you found, girl, since you over there doing research, boo? What else did you find, love? Not sure what Phaedra told her, but I know she said something like that was it. I guess she meant to say, I guess she was saying that that was the only thing she found was the foreclosure. That was it. All right. So Porsha talks with Cynthia about telling Shamea what happened, and she wasn't supposed to say anything about that. Like, girl, you weren't supposed to say nothing. You were supposed to keep that on the low. All right. If I didn't bring it up, why is you bringing it up? And of course, Cynthia is apologetic for what she did. Um, Girl, what the fuck? Girl, I'm shooketh. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm coming over here to the internet so that we can get into some things over here on the Bravo Shade Room, bitch. And I done seen the Diddy verdict. Oh, girl, what's going on today? Found what? I knew. That's another conversation. That's another conversation. We on Real Housewives right now, girl. But I knew some shit. I said, I'm outdone, ho. I'm just, girl. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up, cause I just can't. I can't. Girl, and I said that it was gonna be a piece of guilty and not guilty in it. Girl, I can't. Ooh. Anyway, let's keep going. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna wrap this review up, and I'll just come back to y'all with another portion, because I'm gonna have to take a pause on this bitch, because I just can't. Anyway, so Porsha talked to Cynthia about Shamea and what happened, and she wasn't supposed to say anything. Porsha says that she may feel comfortable talking shit about her to those ladies. Maybe they make her feel comfortable. She says, listen, my movements toward Shamea has not changed. I don't plan on changing them. If she wants to go over there, that's fine. If she wants to come back, it's fine. It's all love over here. I don't care, right? So that's that. Porsha, at the end, they do play when Porsha is now in the home, right? She wasn't able to film majority of the season. Now the judge ruled in her favor. She's now able to film in the home, and she's just happy to be on the other side of this divorce, primarily because, of course, the judge enforced the prenup, right? He enforced the prenup. Simon is expected to pay things, whether he's going to pay it or not. Porsha don't have time to sit around and wait on figuring out whether he's going to do his part. She got to get out here and work, which is why she's out here booking these different jobs to maintain her lifestyle and keep things afloat and pick up where she left off when she took the break to be with his sloppy ass. Okay. So good luck to her and everything she has going on. Let us check out what these other ladies have going on over here before I get out of here. Kelly, after 3 years, Kelly finally closed the doors on her marriage in September of 2024. She is preparing to open new doors to her Sandy Springs Nana's Chicken and Waffles location in the spring or summer of 2025. She'll be double checking the guest list for the grand opening. All right, so that's what's going on with Kelly. We still haven't heard any new word on Chicken and Waffles and whether or not it will be opening. Okay. Britt is using her clean slate to open a new insurance agency, and she also is working hard to release Bare Naked so that the masses can be snatched like her. And we have yet to see either, but we wish her the best of luck. Drew's album "I Did It to Me" was released in March of 2025. While her music career is on high, her relationship with Ralph is still on a low as he continues to reside in his basement apartment in the sky, with an end to the divorce nowhere in sight. Okay. I don't know what's going on with Drew and Ralph. They be over here ping ponging the situation. One minute they hate each other, and I won't be surprised if the next minute they humping on each other. Who knows? We have not heard any word on the divorce and any finalization on it. Y'all know Ralph wants a good percentage in her businesses. So I don't know. Maybe she's trying to figure out a workaround with that, or maybe they'll figure it out and get back together. Who knows? I don't. Good luck. All right. Shamea, while baby Shiloh continues to make progress, Shamea has a new surrogate and hopes to welcome a baby boy soon. Her single "Never Had" was released in March 2025. She hopes that listeners don't talk over it this time. All right. So we'll see what's going to happen with Shamea. If she dropped a showcase, you would think and hope that she's going to be dropping her project very soon. And I would advise her to do so by the time the reunion is over with. But good luck to her. Phaedra is booked and busy and adding more jobs to her resume until her boys retire her. Meanwhile, her chocolate prince, Cheche, or whatever his name is still satisfying her sweet tooth. And I'm here for it. I'm cackling and I'm damn laughing all at the same time, because y'all do know this is Apollo's friend, and I love it because neither one of them gave a damn about Apollo's feelings. Yikes. So good luck to the people. Angela sold 3 houses, but 2 have unfortunately been lost in foreclosure. However, she is staying cool under pressure with her next business venture. Fangy, a line of fans. I can't. No word on when she and Charles will renew their vows. All right, so we shall see, because Charles act like he didn't want to do all of that, so hopefully they're able to figure that out. And best of luck, and congrats to her for being able to get those other houses off her hands. All right. Porsha, Simon was detained while entering the country in February of 2025, leaving the divorce on ice, and it has now thawed the hell out as she is now moving forward. He has left America and he is planning to appeal the decision of the court. All right. But I am Jami. That's me. That is all that I have for you guys at this time. Please leave your thoughts and comments down below. Be sure to like up the video, subscribe to the channel, as we're slowly making our way over to 100,000 subscribers. If you're not a part of the family, go ahead and become a part of the family. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, you can catch me on social media at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, honey. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can fill a pool with